I would like to call the May 3rd, 2017 meeting of the Northern Nevada Water Planning Commission to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Danielle Henderson.
Here.
Michael D. Martini.
Here.
Bill Hauk.
Here.
Michael Drinkwater.
Here.
John Enlow. John Flansburgh. Mickey Hazelwood.
Here.
John Martini.
Here.
Darren Price. Dave Solero.
Here.
Mervyn Wright Jr.
Here.
John Zimmerman.
Here.
And non-voting members Harry Vanastock, Thomas Payette, Mylan Nagoyan, Cindy Turchek, and Ron Penrose. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. With that, I will move to item 2, public comment. Do we have any public comment cards?
We have no public comment.
Okay. Is there any member of the public in the audience wishing to speak at this time? No? Okay. I will move on to item number 3 then, approval of the agenda.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? No? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Can you tell me who made the motion and who seconded, please?
Commissioner Martini made the motion, and it was Commissioner Drinkwater who seconded. And let's see, so moving on to item 4, approval of the minutes from the April 5th, 2017 meeting. Does anybody have any questions or would like to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Martini and a second by?
I'll take it.
Commissioner Solero. Any further discussion? No? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, moving right along. Item number 5, report on the Truckee Meadows Water Authority fiscal year 2016-17 water usage review program, discussion and possible recommendation to the Western Regional Water Commission regarding a scope of work and funding request in the amount of $100,000 from the Regional Water Management Fund to continue the program for fiscal year 2017-18, and possible direction to staff. I will turn it over to Mr. Smitherman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item has been funded by one form or another of the Regional Water Management Fund since 2003. Andy Gebhardt from Tumwa is here to report on last year's program and to, I guess, officially make the request for the funding for the following year. So I won't take up any more of his time.
No, you can't. For the record, Andy Gebhardt. Last year when I was before you, I said that would be my last time. I did, and I was handing it over to Marcy Westlake. Changes happen all the time in all organizations, and so Marcy is no longer handling that task, and we have Lane Chrisman is handling it, and Lane's not able to make it today, so here I am.
We're happy to have you.
Last year when I talked to you, we were coming off 2015 was our the most audits we'd had in quite some time. You know, the extra conservation that we asked for in 2015, as we expected, precipitated a lot of audit requests and how can I, help reduce my water use. And so it jumped about 500 audits in the 2015 timeframe. 2016 came along, I wasn't sure. I think it was you, John, that asked, what do we expect, or if it's going to be about the same, and I wasn't sure. And it turned out we had 150 more in 2016 than we had in 2015, which quite frankly shocked me. I thought, people made the adjustments in 2015, they wouldn't, they wouldn't need help again, if you will. But we had more in 2016. We had 2,150, almost 2,200 audits. And it's still a very popular program. We feel very good about it. We find a lot of leaks. I don't have anything great to tell you about statistically, but just the customers, you know, when they get that high bill, they're all on meters now. They're worried about every little thing, and it helps the community. And so we do enjoy offering that program, that assistance, and we do enjoy your helping us pay for it. So with that, I would answer any questions you might have.
Go ahead.
Andy, just wanted to thank you again. It's, from my perspective, from the community service department as far as, it's nice to have a resource to refer our citizens to for help. We do get feedback, you guys help a ton.
Good.
So great job. And if there are any other questions, I'm ready for the motion.
Okay. Do we have any other questions right now? No? All right.
I move to forward a recommendation of approval.
Okay, do we have a second? All right, by Commissioner Haug. Any further discussion? No? Are there any public comment? No? Okay.
Anybody in the public?
We need some secret handshake signal. Okay, well, so we have a motion and a second. No further discussion. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay? No? Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Madam Chairman, I'd like to say thanks to Andy, too.
Sure, sorry.
This wasn't supposed to be his project this year, and he did go above and beyond to put together the scope of work and the budget in short order and come down here and make an appearance. So thanks, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Appreciate it. See you next year.
Okay. All right, so on to item number 6. Report on action taken by the WRWC concerning the Truckee Meadows Regional Planning Agency Proposal 4 and the NNWPC recommendation on the development of a regional stormwater drainage network geographic information system map and possible direction to staff. And I'll turn that over to Jim.
Okay, thank you. On April 19th, I took, along with Jeremy Smith, your recommendation to the Western Regional Water Commission, your recommendation made April 5th, and there was quite a bit of discussion, and they did approve a motion which was directing staff to move forward with Phase 1 as Phase 1 only, so consistent with what your recommendation was, but they didn't hold it off for a month as you had recommended, at a proposed cost of $21,000 after, and then after completion of about a 4-month phase, return with a detailed project plan for the next phases. TMRPA staff, Jeremy Smith, clarified that they would not be starting on the project until after July 1, so there wasn't a direction to execute a contract immediately. And that would result in a Phase 1 completion date sometime in the last quarter of 2017. The vote at the Western Regional Water Commission was not unanimous, so there is still a bit of contention surrounding this one, but if we take it in Phase 1 and then move forward from their fashion, I think that we'll be able to get to the bottom of what the concern is once we've had a chance to look at the availability of data and bring that forward. So Jeremy and I sat down after the Western Regional Water Commission meeting. We talked about the more detailed scope of work that this commission was looking for Phase 1. We'll bring that to you in June, and then get your approval on that, and then move forward with an interlocal agreement.
Okay. So this item is styled for action. So what are you looking for from us today?
Really just an acceptance of the report,
Okay.
unless you had some other action in mind, but that's all I'd be looking for.
Well, does anyone have any questions or need clarification on anything? No? All right. Well, I will, I guess then I'll call for a motion if somebody would like to make one. Don't we have to? Wouldn't we call for public comment after we have a motion? Oh, right. Okay.
You can have the motion and then call for it.
Yeah, that's what we, I think that's what we've been doing. Okay, all right. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept the report.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Hazelwood. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Solero. So, and do we have any further discussion from the commission? No? Do we have any public comment? Okay, then I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? No? All right, motion carries unanimously. So we'll look forward to that detailed scope of work in June at the next meeting. Okay. All right, on to item 7. Report on legislative activities, including bill draft requests and bills pending in the 2017 session of the Nevada Legislature that may affect or are of interest to the WRWC and the NNWPC. Mr. Rhodes.
Thank you. I've included in your packet an updated staff report, and if you had a chance to look at it, you will note that it differs substantially from our last staff report. We started out tracking 31 or 32 bills and BDRs. As a result of the last legislative deadline, which was a little over a week ago when bills had to clear their house of origin, we are now down to 14 bills that we are tracking or watching. And the recommendation on all of those is simply to watch with a neutral position, except for one, which is SB 74, and that was the rainwater, allowing the collection of rainwater without a water right for certain domestic and wildlife support uses. The Western Regional Water Commission met on April 19, and we took forward your recommendation for the chairman to send a letter of support for the portion of the governor's budget dealing with cloud seeding funding for DRI. That was approved. That letter went out. A letter of support also went out for this rainwater bill, which got quite a chuckle from the commission, but they did approve it. And I did point out that even though these may be in some cases de minimis amounts, it is consistent with a lot of our policies and goals, and it's a good thing for us to support it. The other cloud seeding funding bill, which would have allowed for grants from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, died in committee, so it didn't even get to its house of origin. So that's where we are at this point. The legislative subcommittee will be meeting again on Friday, and I'll bring you an updated report at your next meeting. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions? No?
Thank you.
All right. Right. So with that, we will move on to item number 8, the program manager's report.
Thank you. Nothing out of the ordinary here. The report on the projects and work plans supported by the Regional Water Management Fund is up to date as much as our financial tracking is up to date. One thing, invoice that I received that didn't hit this report is the second item down, the Highland Canal Water Project. That one I did receive a $197,000 invoice for, so that one is well on the way to being spent down by the end of the fiscal year. That's what we're expecting. And then the second item, the financial report, we are on track to, it looks like, come very close to our revenue projections. And then at the bottom of the page, you can see that we're well under our revenue projections, so that we will very likely finish in the fiscal year in the black. And then the third item that's not on the staff report, but it is on the agenda, I just wanted to report that the Western Regional Water Commission held a public hearing for adoption of the Regional Water Plan on April 19th. There was no public comment, and it was adopted by unanimous motion and approval by the board. Right now, Chris and I are carefully reading through it, looking for typos and anything that we might have missed on the first several times through, and working with Stan Tech on producing a finished product. So we'll let you know when that's finished.
All right. All right, well, thanks. Does anyone have any questions or, no? Okay. Moving on to item number 9, discussion regarding location and possible agenda items for the June 7th, 2017 NNWPC meeting and other future meetings and possible direction to staff.
Thank you. As of today, we are scheduled for June 7th meeting in this room at 1:30. The on-deck agenda items would include the scope of work for this Stormwater Drainage Network GIS Phase 1, and also we'll tee up some of the other interlocal agreements that either need amendment for continuing on with the program or maybe a time amendment, something like that. But those are going to be the projects that don't appear in the routine operating budget that are a little bit more significant and have a higher price tag. So that's all I would have, and then I would ask for any input for additional items from the commission.
Okay, and I'm assuming the location would be here?
Here in this room, yes.
Does anybody else have questions, or? No?
Public
Good.
comment on that
Quiet bunch, that's right. Well, you want to do motion and second first?
There was really no action, so we don't need a motion, but we can still take public comment.
Okay. Do I have any public comment on this item?
Oh, we have a
I
comment
have a
from the
question.
commission.
Oh, yes, a question.
I apologize if I misheard, but it sounded like we had exactly one thing on the agenda next month, the review of the potential scope from RTC, other than our standard report items.
Well, there would be amendments to interlocal agreements that we need to get executed before the beginning of the fiscal year. I don't have a list for you right now, but they would be those that are not in the routine operating budget that would need your approval for amendment.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right, so at least some housekeeping items for the following fiscal year, and then Jeremy's updated work plan.
Correct.
Okay,
If you're looking for canceling a meeting, keep your eye on July.
I was going for the hat trick, but no, whatever.
duly noted.
Might be.
Okay, and any public comment on item number 9?
We have no public comment.
Okay.
She doesn't have one.
Item number 7 was a non-action item as well.
She can comment on her.
Right. Okay, well then,
Let me just
let's,
clarify that on the
go
record.
ahead.
Just to clarify on the public comments, we do not allow public comment on non-action items, but any comments are appropriate under either of our general public comment periods. The one that's remaining there is item 10. I'm sorry, item 12. Thank you.
Okay. Well, moving on to item number 10. Excuse me, do we have any comments from the commission? No? All right. Any comments from staff under item 11?
No, other than thank you for running an efficient meeting. This could be a record time.
All right. So now we are on item number 12, public comment. Do I have any cards?
Yes, Kathy Brandhorst.
Okay. Ms. Brandhorst, if you'd like to come up. Oh, I hope Donna runs the clock. Donna.
My name is Kathy Brandhorst, and I'm also the United States President. Bills pending. There's quite a few bills pending right now because we are refusing to pay the high bills, especially on the water. If that poles and wires are connected to our homes, I still refuse to pay the high water bill. I'm not going to pay for it at all. I'm only going to pay for the portion that I used in my own home. There's not going to be any more people attaching to my water, and I have to pay for their water. Bill draft requests. We still have gas and electric. We still have internet. We still have the phone service on those wires and poles. And also we still have cable. and we still have other assistants, to run our TV sets. I still refuse to pay for anybody else's gas and electric from those poles and wires. I am only going to pay for what I used, and that's the only bill that I will be paying for. So the rest of it can be paid by you, I guess. I don't know who's going to be responsible for any of those bills at all. And, the people that are poor, they are connected to my unit, my home, my apartment, and you expect me to pay for what they use? No, I'm not going to pay for them at all, even though they cannot afford to pay it. There's going to be all kinds of bills waiting for you to be paid. Oh, my. If you don't pay for the water, we may be cut off completely, the whole city, because you have not paid your bills. The gas and electric may be cut off because we're not going to pay except for what we use in our homes. We're not going to pay for somebody else's gas and electric or phone bill either. If you're going to pay for that bill, because they're too poor to pay for the bills, that bill's going to climb higher and higher and higher. One man came up to me and says, I got a bill for $1 million because they have
Thank you.
laser beams with their electric.
Okay. On to item number 13, adjournment. Whoa, wait, who made? All right. Motion by Commissioner Zimmerman. Do I have a second? Second. By Commissioner Houck. Discussion? No. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. We are adjourned.